Well, that wraps up our bad OCs? This is weird. And we're going to be moving on now to our good OCs. So going back in the same order we presented bad OCs, we are going to take a look at Commander's good OC. So Commander, tell us all about your good OC for this week.
Okay, so the good OC that I brought this week, this feels really weird, is
I know, right?
Is a Chalk Pastel, who also goes just by Chalk. They're sort of in the kind of like filly age, like still pretty young, and they're a bit of a shorter pony, and they were born in Manhattan, and currently they don't have a job or anything. Their cutie mark, as you can tell, is like blue and pink chalk, which it shows her talent for with her chalk drawings, and those are the specific colors that she was using when she got her cutie mark. But personality, she's fun, excitable, and easygoing, and imaginative, silly, and playful. However, one thing about her is that she actually has selective mutism, where in most situations, has so much social anxiety that, literally you just can't even speak, and she only speaks to 3 ponies. Her mom, her uncle, and her older sister. Even though she only actually speaks to those 3 ponies, she actually has a decent amount of people who call her, friend at school. So she's, even though can't really talk to them because she just has problems with communicating and feeling nervous, she's still people still enjoy having her around. She's very, because of this problem, she's very prone to having panic attacks at different points in time, and but she can usually avoid those when she's at her home with all of her family. And when she is with her family and stuff like that, she's really actually loud, free-spirited, happy little pony. And will just spend her time just drawing with chalk and stuff because she likes drawing and chalk, and yeah. Making chalk drawings helps her a lot with sort of trying to get herself calmed down and stuff. However, if she notices that somebody's looking at her while she's doing one of these drawings, she's kind of gonna freak out and start crying or hyperventilating or maybe rolling around freaking out. A lot of the times when she's not at home drawing stuff, she'll actually do it on the sidewalk by the hospital that her mom works at, because her mom's a nurse, and that way nobody can see her drawings. And then I'm just gonna give sort of the TLDR of how she got her cutie mark. Pretty much she ended up drawing chalk or making chalk drawings for people at the hospital, which ended up helping them, but she would do it in secret and stuff like that, and then because that helped them, that she that's how she got her cutie mark, because helped her, helped them, everything is good, yay.
I think that's a good story, though I don't understand how her drawing chalk in front of the hospital would keep people or ponies from seeing it. I don't get that connection, but that's just me.
She does that, and generally people don't see it, like I said, because it's usually later at night, because that's when her mom, I guess, works there.
Now, I will say that, this is all quite interesting, and this is how you do, not generic shy, but expand on the sort of shyness. Well, she's not actually shy, but, that's the point. She didn't specify that it's shy, but she still has issues with talking to others and stuff. So this is, a good way to expand on such things. However, it sounds a little bit, dare I say, a little bit overboard. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just, I don't know, focusing, the way she reacts to people seeing her art is a little odd.
Especially when generally chalk is a very public medium in comparison to most others.
Though I do like the idea of this face specifically, of her turning around being like, oh man, I did it, and her friend's like, oh, did you draw that? And her eyes just kind of shrink down, and she just stops, she just stands there frozen.
No very obvious chalk everywhere on her. No.
Yeah. This pony is really cute. I mean, Silver Boy has a thing with making ponies that I think are really cute. I really like the color usage between like the mane and the coat. I think that all the colors fit together really well. I like the addition of the splotches of. I mean, I don't know how easily chalk transfers. I imagine it onto like a body. I can imagine it transfers onto fur a little bit easier than just skin. So it kind of makes a little bit more sense. I don't know how in the world she got some chalk in some of those places though. But
like,
I like the fact that she's just so. Or like her shoulder. How?
Guys, what you don't know is that the ear is great for shading.
Maybe she just itched her ear.
Yeah,
her
she
flank?
could just,
Why her flank?
She itched her butt.
It was from one of those panic attacks. She just started rolling around on the chalk.
Or, she could have also just wanted to maybe draw on herself and make it prettier.
I don't know.
Her cutie mark.
Well, I mean, that wouldn't really go with that, though, because if she was drawing on herself and then anyone saw her, she would just die.
Maybe she did it in secret, and then she walked around like nothing happened.
Just explodes.
Yeah, but I would really like to see the version of her without all the chalky mess, because it's a little bit overbearing for me. Like, it's quite bright colors. Not oversaturated, but it's kind of like really, really bright, and added with all the bright chalkiness, it's a little hard to see her in her normal form, so to speak.
Yeah, especially with all of those blue gradients. I want to know if those are chalk or part of her.
Yeah.
Because they seem too consistently everywhere to not be a part of who she is.
Tail, mouth, and on every hoof, and even the flank, yeah. It has the signs.
Yeah, and I'm not digging it.
Though one of the chalks, she used when she got the cutie mark, and on her cutie mark is the blue chalk. So it's not too much to think that that's the most used probably, and she is holding the red one, so kind of makes sense.
The blue one is now gone. It is dust. Yeah. The only.
She ate it. That's why her mouth is blue.
The only proof it exists now is that it's on her flank and everywhere other than her body. Or every other part of her body.
She's a special type of artist. Once she is done drawing, she must eat all the materials used to make it.
So no one can find the evidence.
Yeah.
Oh god, I just am imagining somebody like she like is finished with an drawing, a chalk drawing, and she's just like, I have to get rid of the evidence, and she's eating, and then one of her friends walks over and is like, hey chalk, what are you doing? She just turns around, there's 2 chalk pieces sticking out of her mouth.
She just shoved an entire box of chalk.
Yes.
I want to see that.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
I really like the colors in her mane.
Yes.
That pink and yellow, they're super really cute.
Yes.
And, overall the whole Silver Boy art style, it looks cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely. Sometimes yellow's hard to... Oh.
I feel like the tail is not as cool in comparison to the mane, though. Feels lackluster. Yeah.
The mane's really good, though.
Yeah.
I would just say maybe tweak it a little bit to match it or something.
Make more tail.
I really like this character. She's really cute. It does an interesting story and presents a character that I don't think you've ever seen one quite like it before, because it's unique. I like that.
Well, then, that means we get to move on to the next OC, which is Mage. So, Mage, tell us all about the good OC you have this week.
The OC I chose for good OC this time is Autumn Haunting by Eve of Halloween. There's so much to her, by the way. Story-wise, I highly suggest to go and read about her, because I'm probably not going to do her justice.
That smooths life.
Name is Autumn Haunt. She's a little older than the main 6. Slightly smaller than Cadence, height-wise. Personality says sassy, mischievous. I think that's how you pronounce it. Clever, childish, a little grumpy, playful, not super creative, a bit of a hothead. She likes spiders, bats, nightmare night, pulling pranks, nighttime, sleeping in, drawing. Dislikes mornings, heat, bright light, wolves, being wet, feeling like she let someone down. Faults: overconfident, pushy, she trusts too easily, she lets her temper get the best of her. She's weak at flying because she's still new to it, most magic not involving illusions. What she's good at: illusions, seeing a pony's true fears in their eyes, and pranking. Her cutie mark and meaning is a bat with a crescent moon and stars, representing the night sky because she normally works at night, the time where most ponies' fears occur, and it's shaped like a bat to represent the things that most ponies fear on Nightmare Night. Purpose: responsible for spreading the mysteries of autumn nights and the bravery to overcome fears, especially Nightmare Night when she plays mischievous pranks on fillies and uses her magic to create illusions of their worst fears to have them face and overcome such fears so they grow past them and become strong colts/mares. Basically, she lives in Trampylvania, which is a really cool pun on Transylvania.
Trampylvania.
I approve. I love it.
And she has a little brother called Midnight Howl, and she got her cutie mark because her little brother was scared of something, of some story. I can't remember what it was right now, but basically she on Nightmare Night, I believe, she went out and created an illusion of what her little brother was afraid of and made the illusion attack him, and he stood up to it to protect his friends, and then he overcame his fear. She came out, she congratulated, and that's how she got the cutie mark. So basically, when she found her talent, she started helping other ponies face their fears and such, but she herself had fears of her own, and Luna helped her, feel fear and terror and overcome them. And then she said, now that you know how it feels like to be afraid of stuff, you can truly help other ponies overcome their fears. And I think that's how she became an alicorn. But yeah, she was Luna's student, but then she stopped being her student to travel around and help other ponies, and she does report to Luna every now and then, I think. So it's kind of like Twilight, just for Luna, in a way. Just, yeah. But not exactly the same, of course. But that's basically the idea. And that's all.
How freaking noble. Like, seriously. Dedicating your entire existence into helping others get over their fears.
By scaring the piss out of them.
Well, yeah, but...
I get you, though. I get you. I just thought it was funny.
One of my biggest issues when it comes to alicorn OCs is why the necessary to make them an alicorn. And that is one of the issues I have with this character. I don't understand why she needs wings. We have been shown in the past before that there are unicorns who can do just as powerful things. And if you want to make just a powerful unicorn, you can do that. She does not need an alicorn ability. And as we've seen, alicorns are usually representations of some of the most powerful things in the world. Be it love, friendship, warmth, and night.
She can still be, like, a study or a student under Luna for the specific thing,
mind
but
that.
She doesn't need to be alicornicized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like this, like, all the concept of this character, but I would disagree with, I would disagree with the choice to make them an alicorn, but that's really the only major thing that I can really complain about personally.
The alicornication is, I'm on the fence about it, but generally, yes, I do like the character.
I am completely against it.
She doesn't have to be an alicorn, but if there is a reason to be an alicorn, she has a pretty good enough reason to be one. Like I said, read the story. I'm not doing it justice. It sounds a lot better when you read it, and it feels more. It's a bit of a more natural sort of turning into an alicorn story than I've seen around. And like originally, I thought maybe I will put it on the battle seas, but then I read about it and I was like, this is actually really, really good for how people usually handle alicorns. So I really liked how she handled it.
like I said, the only alicorns we've seen so far are the ones that represent some of the strongest, and like some of the strongest resources or forces. Yeah, there's the word. That's the word I'm looking for. Some of the strongest forces on the planet of Equestria.
I do like her color scheme. I like that the yellow in her mane is a bit darker, though it's still a bit slightly too samey to the body color, to the coat color.
I agree.
The gradient in her wings is I usually don't like gradients too much, but I think they kind of work because it's not too out there, it's not too bad, not too colorful or rainbowy or anything. It's a good little add-on sort of like thing. So it's not a bad thing in my opinion. It kind of gives a bit of a look to her. It's good. It's good if you ask me. Mane and tail design, I like how it's curly, and yes, this is how manes work. This is how you color. Like, remember my battles? Not mine's. I think, what was it? Medi's? No, wait.
Mine. It was mine.
This is how you do tails with the stripes and stuff. Like, from the beginning to the end, you don't just color in. It's like a blotch. So this is a good thing. I also like how some of the stripes are uneven, sort of to see, like, to show, like, strands of hair. It gives more detail to the otherwise kind of simplistic look. And purple eyes. Yes, I do like purple. and I do like that the blue is kind of like, it's dark, but it's not too dark, and it's not saturated too much. Like, it's not even blue. Maybe it's like a very pale purple, maybe even. I'm not sure. I don't have my drawing program open to check, but I think it's more leaning towards purplish. It kind of makes sense with the whole theme.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very gray with a slight tint of purple in it.
Yeah, and I think it looks really, really good. I don't think I've seen many of these use that sort of color scheme or similar to it like that, so that's good. Good job. Thumbs up.
I definitely like the color choice in the mane and stuff, mane and tail. I will agree though that the coat is a bit close to the like orange in the mane. There's obviously distinct differences, but it's close enough that it could cause some trouble with things and stuff. I don't know though.
Maybe give it more of an orange tinge, possibly? That sounds not right.
In the mane?
Yeah, the mane.
Maybe? Yeah.
Yeah, in the mane.
I think if it was tinged a little bit more orange, it would help a bit.
Yeah, it might not look as good, though.
Yeah, a little bit darker. Something.
Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. That's all it needs.
Try a few things.
Just to add contrast.
I think it's pretty neat. It has a better reason to be an alicorn than most other alicorns I've seen out there. Could potentially consider not being one, but that's really up to you. I don't mind either way, unlike some of you apparently.
Opinions.
Yeah. So, good job on this OC.
Thank you for showing this one to us there, Mage. We are going to move on to our next good OC. Shut up. Which is mine. This pony is Inky Doodle. And admittedly, I find most of my ponies first by aesthetics, and then I make sure that the backstory is good. I found this one purely because I was going through our gallery and whatnot, and I saw that this one looked very uneased. It was in a state of almost panic or worry. I was like, I want to know what is the deal with that pony. And I believe that the story behind this character really matches up to how it is represented in the... Thank you, exactly, Mehdi. It's taking how it represents in the story as well. So, now what's interesting about this pony is the fact that when you just look at it, it's like, okay, yeah, she looks really weird or uneasy, like I said. But that's because she is a writer. Not because writers are uneasy, but she's a writer. She likes writing. Her key mark is a pen with an ink blot, which I feel flows back into her actual personality and whatnot of being a little messy. But, so, she tries writing a whole bunch of different stories, but she always seems to be going back to horror and tragedies in her stories, which, for some odd reason, she just likes more than other ones. Finds that sometimes she gets too wrapped up in her work, so she ends up working way late into the hours, and she realized, oh god, I've been up for so long, I probably should try to go to bed. Note, I say try, because I'll bring that up later. So, I'm going to bring it up now, actually. So, she doesn't get that much sleep. Her mother apparently didn't get that much sleep, and it kind of also is the same for her. And turns out, it's not just she doesn't get any sleep, she's kind of an insomniac. Like, she just doesn't sleep ever. And because of that, she doesn't sleep as much. So when she doesn't sleep, she kind of starts thinking the things she's writing about are actually becoming real. She starts hallucinating these weird things in her story. And obviously, if she is a pony who writes about horror and tragedy, the things she's hallucinating may not be the best things that should be interacting with her. So, probably causing her to be in more undue stress and in not the right mindset. I really like this character. I think it's well done. It's very interesting and very... it's not super over-detailed, but it's not, missing things. We're not talking about things that are weird or out of the ordinary. It's like, yep, I know what these things are. This is this. This is this. I like this character.
And here's another good way of portraying an introverted pony that's not generic.
This is definitely not generic. I like it. Like it's unique. It definitely. And like you said, it's like matches with the like visual representation of the character, which we'll get to in a second. But I think that they do a good job of like giving a reason why she's kind of like freaking the fuck out. Because, if I started hallucinating about horror stories that I was writing and just seeing the things from them, I would probably freak out.
The thought was definitely put into her. It's not just like, oh, she's, she doesn't have sleep and she just hallucinates. No, like, actual thought was put into her, which is good when you're handling such things that, problematic people or ponies. You don't just do that just because it felt like it. You have to do proper research and think about how things work and why you're putting it there. Don't put it just thoughtlessly. So I think, well, from what it sounds like, the person did do a lot of thinking about this OC, and it shows.
Her key mark, I feel, really matches to her personality. Most people are like, oh, I'm just going to make like a pen and some ink, and it'll just be whatever pony that's just normal. I think the fact that it's a pen with a messy blotch of ink helps add more to this character because of the messiness of the ink and the messiness of this character. Or the fact that she is a mess because of her circumstances. Of not being able to sleep and whatnot. What I like with this one is that they also included a list of like colors and whatnot that should be associated with the pony, despite the fact that it is it is done traditionally and taken with a camera instead of like scanned in or done digitally or whatever. A step further with this artist may be to go online and just play around with some colors and try to find like hex codes or RGB codes or HSB codes or any way that you can pick a color. That way, if somebody in a digital means or somebody who's proficient in any kind of digital coloring or art program would be able to recreate this, they would be more precise to the colors of what you want. If you don't really care about that, it works fine, but some people do. So, on the off chance someone wants to make this character for you in a digital means, you may want to do that.
Yeah.
I like the little hairs sticking out, so they're very thin lines. It's cute. Looks very much frazzled.
I like the mane and tail because they're just kind of all over the place. They're also kind of like sagging down, which I feel accentuates that whole lack of getting any sleep sort of thing, and just a lot of different like small things that come together to make this character like make sense.
I like this character. I like the design. I like how everything seems to be a cohesive story or tied into itself to make a really good character. So, well done, Dexter. Moving on to the next OC, we're going to be taking a look at... Smooth, yes.
This is Eye Candy. Eye Candy is a living piñata. Just taking a second to let that sink in.
I'm trying to have it sink in.
She was not always a living piñata. In fact, she was made as not a living piñata. She was not always living. She was just a piñata. She was just a little tiny piñata thing for a young colt's birthday. But he didn't know what piñatas were for, so he just kind of thought it was a toy instead of, like, you know, fill them with candy and break them.
Murder.
So she never got broken. So that's probably... she probably looks back on that as like, ha, that's really lucky. And he kind of just kept her as a toy and was like, hey, Dad, what should I name her? And he's just like, that's a good joke. But he didn't know that his son wasn't joking, so he was like, huh, maybe you should name her Eye Candy. But this young colt was a unicorn and was practicing magic. You know where this is going.
Oh, God.
And was testing a spell. Something went wrong. It misfired, went in a different direction, and hit her. After the smoke cleared, wait, what's that coughing? I'm not coughing. My piñata pony. My piñata pony, little sister.
Oh my God.
What's up? I'm full of candy and one day I'll die.
Oh, God.
And then Eye Candy became alive. Parents came in, were like, what? Apparently, though, things being brought to life by unicorn magic isn't uncommon.
I mean, if unicorns can turn life into oranges and it still be alive, then I wouldn't imagine it will.
Yeah, but that's Alicorn Princess Twilight Sparkle we're talking about.
Well, I mean, that was just normal Princess Twilight
I
Sparkle.
was gonna say...
Oh, that's right.
She was still
normal
OP.
princess. Anyway.
But yeah.
So they thought that was really creepy, and they kept a very close watch on her and made sure that she wasn't like evil or possessed or anything like that. It took a while, but eventually they did warm up to her and they accept her as this colt's younger sister now, kind of thing. So also, she doesn't go out in the rain because she is not resistant to it. She is not made of resistant material. Oh, by the way, she's hollow. Just thought you. So she doesn't
Where
need
did
to.
the candy go?
Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. You know, candy goes bad after a while.
Question: can she open her mouth?
No, yes, actually. She can open her mouth, but she doesn't just, like, throw up the candy. She does actually she does have the urge to eat candy. She doesn't have to eat, but she does feel a very strong compulsion to eat candy.
She's like, candy inside of me!
Also, there's a little tiny door in her front left hoof, so the candy can go out.
Oh.
You always fill the piñatas from the top, so it's got to be right in her back where you put the candy in and out.
Her cutie mark is not real, because she got really sad when the colt got a cutie mark, so he just made one for her. But she does have a special talent. She can spot candy anywhere, and she, because of this and her compulsion to eat candy, is an absolute terror on Nightmare Night, when there's candy just everywhere. Candy? Candy hoard candy time. Time to hoard
Candyman
candy.
got lost. Bring in Project Eye Candy.
I imagine that she just turns into a vacuum.
She's terrified of parties because she knows she's a piñata. And she knows what piñatas are for. it's not very rational fear, because you're not just going to go up to someone who's alive, even if they are a piñata. You're not going to just go up to them and try to break them open, because, I mean, at this point, she's probably more along the lines of an adult, I assume, but I suppose
it's still dangerous, because if you pass out at a party and everyone's drunk and you're a piñata...
Does she age?
Yes, she does actually age. It's just slight in comparison to others. She does not have a poison joke effect, because she doesn't have actual skin or anything like that is, like, real or a systems of any kind, so she probably can't even, like, catch diseases or anything like that, so that's nice.
So is she technically cardboard?
Yes.
Doesn't cardboard, like, after a while just weaken as well?
No, not necessarily. It depends on how it's done. If
it
gets wet, hell yes. If not, generally fine. Generally fun-loving and also responsible and great with children, but she ruins parties and steals candy.
I will say that it's a very original idea and very well thought through. Like, the details, like, can she be a discorder? Can she be poison joke? Those are good things to ask yourself. Which is good. It's a good thinking process that went on there.
Yeah. Like, when I saw this character, I was like, I like the design, but it was kind of iffy. But I think I've been persuaded.
Then, about aesthetics. Freaking, oh my goodness. This is amazing.
It's definitely good. I like it.
Like, okay, a little backstory on me choosing this one. I did choose this one completely of my own volition, but last week, Soren was all like, I was just talking to him about when he was picking his OCs for last week. He was just like, oh man, you know, these ponies with the freaking, like, those manes that are all like streamers and kind of things like that, they always so bug me. Like, look at this one, and I'm like, Soren, this pony is a piñata. He was like, oh, that makes sense.
I could tell it was a piñata from the first moment I saw it.
Oh, yeah.
Also, in the first line of the description, piñata ponies are fun.
I really like the colors, and I love the textured thing they put on the pony, how it looks like it's got the papier-mâché little flappy, frilly
it's
things
freaking
on
beautiful.
As a pony OC, these are pretty good colors. Actually, it kind of looks like a cross between Smooth and Commander. I think. Like the colors, but you know, when you consider that she was supposed to be a piñata, like an actual piñata, you'd think she would have a bit more color to her, like a bit more flair. Like, she's very much blue, and it's not, blue is a bit of a sad sort of color. It doesn't pop out. Piñatas are supposed to be bright and colorful, so as a pony OC she works well. Like, as a piñata, I would have expected her to be bright and colorful, which would make her sort of like a bad design for a pony OC. So
well, I
here
don't know.
we are.
Maybe
It depends
the
on
cult,
how you handle it.
Maybe the cult loved the color blue and bluish colors. I mean, technically, when you get down to everything, it's the family's probably buying what the kid would like the most.
Yeah, that's true.
And another big part of why he would keep this toy would be to, like, if he liked the colors.
Also, like, I like the grin and the look she's giving. It's, I don't know how to describe it. In a way, it's kind of creepy, but at the same time, it kind of seems to fit her really, really well. Like,
it's happy-go-lucky.
It's a little bit uncanny, I suppose. It's just a little bit because, you know, she's a piñata. You shouldn't be alive, but she's so happy to be alive. I can't really describe her, but that look she's giving is just a bit eerie when you think about it. But it's not meant to be.
I think it's nice. Like,
it is nice. It suits her really well. That's what I'm trying to say.
Her general expression, like, gives a really calm feel to it, and that grin's just like, yeah.
The eyes are a little bit like sort of almost Felicia sad sort of eyes, but the grin is just like a super happy grin. So they contrast each other, but together they make a really interesting look.
Yeah.
She's freaking super cute. and I really, really like her.
Well then, thank you for that one there, Smooth. Finally, for our final OC this week, we are going to go to Medi Bobo for his good OC. So Medi, tell us all about it.
Alrighty. This is an OC we got for everyone. As soon as I saw it, I wanted to have it on the show. This is Batsy. She is the greatest pun name. She is a bat pony who plays baseball. Her cutie mark is just her, basically her special talent, is that she plays baseball and she's pretty good at it. That's simple. I like it. The wings are just... I don't know about the wings too much. I'm not... Anyways, she resides in Detroit.
Oh my god.
Another great horse pun name.
God damn it.
She is an extroverted, always ready to take whatever's coming her way type of person. She never gives up. And you guys know that the cliche of the girl player in the sports movie?
Mm-hmm.
She is that. Her basic backstory is that she joined a Colts baseball team and everyone looked down on her because she was a mare. And then during a big game, she was the last batter up and they were down some points and she got up there and she hit a home run. It's a pretty simple backstory for a pretty simple character. And I like it. It's not too complex. She isn't saving Equestria by winning a baseball game against evil monsters. Nah, she's just some little leaguer who wanted to get into baseball, and she did it, and she found out she was pretty good at it.
I don't think there's such a thing as a sort of like a gender division in Equestria too much. I haven't seen the ponies get shunned, just like, oh, no girls allowed here. Has this happened? I don't remember.
I don't either.
I don't know.
I don't think Equestria is divided like that because...
Well, they are divided in the sense that they divide them via their race, so maybe she was divided because she was a brat pony?
Does it say that, or does it say she was
it does mention
shunned?
The Colts in the group were cold towards her. They just saw her as one of the other girls' stereotypes.
So it wasn't an actual, like, division necessarily. It was just the fact that these guys are all like, oh, we're like guys, bro. Oh.
Yeah, and we've seen that type of personality in the show.
Yeah. It's just, like, I don't particularly like implementing those sort of, like, divisions in shows that don't have them. If she was, like, if they didn't like her because she was a bad pony, that's fine, because we have seen that happen in the show, like Sakura and stuff.
We're allowed to have racism, just not sexism.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying this,
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just...
Yeah, it's a very simple story. I do like, that she's not off saving the world, she's just playing, baseball. That's really cute. It's nice. It's a good story. I'm happy that there are OCs like that.
She is really cute. Like,
yes.
Oh my god.
Purple.
And she has all these different colors, and I don't dislike any of them.
Oh, I'm a little, why are her wings a different color? Did bat ponies that were in the show...
That's a generic trait for bat ponies in the fandom.
But yeah, like, I like how the colors work together. Purple, favorite color, yes. It's a good shade of it. Purple and yellow go really well. These tones, shades, whatever you call them, work quite good together. Nothing is oversaturated, I don't think. I like that the hat is like the eyes. And the cutie mark is really simple. I like that. Yes, good. Bravo.
Yes. Now, the only issue I have is that she's going to break that tooth swinging that. There's going to be a point where some injury happens because bats are swung with the mouth.
They're going to need to address that somehow.
Maybe they play t-ball.
Maybe give like the bat like some kind of like cushion or something that would be not wood or metal.
It's all like foam bats.
Cork is allowed, and actually, you should use cork.
Yes. And then you're running off, and the bat's stuck in your teeth because you're a bat pony, and you got these fangs, and you're like, oh god!
It's like you're supposed to drop the bat at the base. You're out.
Can't really complain about things though. I like the character. I like the design. I like the mane and tail and how they, for the most part, they sort of match. Question is her hair coming out of the back of the helmet or the top of the helmet?
It's a hat.
It's a hat. Okay. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I
baseball helmets also kind of look like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but they have things over the ears.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I like the ponytail, kind of like tomboyish type of. Put my baseball cap out, pull my ponytail through the back of my hat. My hair's still it's just too long.
Yeah, I like.
And the only issue I have is, and I know this is what normal baseball jerseys look like, but man, she looks more like a ref with that jersey on. Or that
Do
jacket.
baseball jerseys look like that?
Are they called jerseys? I don't know what they're
I don't
called.
know.
I just know when I played baseball, we wore team shirts and not stuff like that. I really enjoyed this OC, and as you can see, you left us all speechless with the niceness about it. I like how simple it is. It definitely takes a concept and a pun and just runs with it. Home run.
Cool. So, with that arduous task of getting through all of those OCs in this episode, we come now to the final points of the episode, where we get to vote on all of these OCs and get to find out who brought the worst and who brought the best. So, since Mage wants to turn it up on its head, we're going to do voting for bad OCs first. So, I brought in Small Fire, Commander brought in Sunny Dream, Medi brought in Annette Art, and then Smooth brought in Evening Dawn, and Mage brought in Timber Rose. Now, going back in the same order we presented in and not voting for the same OC you brought to the party, Commander, who do you vote for worst pony this week?
I think I'm gonna have to give it to Evening Dawn, not because it's necessarily a bad character, but just because there's a lot of things that I just felt didn't fit properly and was kind of confusing in context of a lot of other things. But yeah.
Sunny Dream.
I'm probably going to have to give my vote to Sunny Dream as well.
I'm going to give mine to Small Fire.
I'm going to give it to Evening Dawn.
Oh, damn.
This means we get to go head-to-head again with rock, paper, scissors. So without any webcams or anything, based purely on the merit of the individual, hoping that they don't lie, Smooth and Commander, go ahead and duke it out.
Just you on shoot or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. What'd you get?
What'd you get?
What'd you get?
What'd you get?
I got rock.
I got scissors.
Woo!
Nice. So, looks like Sunny Dream wins Bad OC this week. Congratulations, Commander. And moving on to the good OCs.
So weird.
I know, right? Talking about the good ones this week, I brought in Inky Doodle, Commander brought in Chalk Pastel, Medi brought in Batsy, Smooth brought in Eye Candy, and finally Mage brought in Autumn Haunting. So once again, going back in the same order we presented in and not voting for the same OC you brought to the party, Commander, who do you vote for your favorite OC this week?
I honestly really liked all the OCs this week, but I think, again, I'm going to have to give it to Smooth's OC. I really liked Eye Candy. You definitely won me over with it.
Yes.
Right on. Mage?
Again, I'm torn. On one hand, I really like Inky Doodle, but I think I'll have to go with Eye Candy as well.
Darn it. I'm probably going to have to go with Commander's OC, Chalk Pastel.
And I will give my vote to Autumn Haunting.
I'm gonna give my vote to Chalk Pastel as well.
So wait. Is this again?
Is this another draw?
Yep, same people.
Alright, like we always do whenever we have
Shut
time,
up.
we're going to be settling
Commander,
this
let's
with...
do this.
Okay, Jesus fucking Christ. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. What'd you get?
What'd you get?
What'd you get?
I got rock.
I actually got scissors.
Ha!
Oh!
Yes!
Looks like it flips around this one. Sorry about this one, Mage. Unfortunately, you're one of the few special guests who don't win good or bad, unfortunately.
I wasn't going to win it. I was just here to give my opinion.
Fantastic. Well, in the meantime, can you please... What are you doing? What do you have coming up down the pipes? Are you going to any conventions? Are you doing anything this next summer? Or this summer?
I'm just disappearing into the void. I don't know, honestly. Not any conventions, no. I'm an introvert. No. I can't really say what I have planned because it might fall through and I'll never get to doing it, so who knows? Who knows what I'm gonna do next?
All right.
Just have an eye out.
Yes, everybody who isn't already following LethalAuroraMage on DeviantArt or YouTube, do make a point to go watch or look at her stuff. It is all amazing arts and videos, especially if you haven't seen the Halloween special she did a few years back. It is wonderful and beautiful.
No,
I'm just
don't advertise
it's
that.
amazing and I love it.
Oh.
So, anyway, if you have any OCs or questions that you want to submit to the show, Medi is going to tell you where you can send those in.
You can submit your OCs, questions, and if you have fan art, submit them to yourocsucks.deviantart.com, at yourocsucks at twitter.com, yourocsuckspodcast at gmail.com, and yourocsuckspodcast.tumblr.com.
This show is also supported by our gracious donators at patreon.com. If you want to support the show in any way possible, go ahead and go to patreon.com/yourocsucks, and you'll be able to look at all the different benefits and prizes and whatnot you can get by donating to the show. In the meantime, this has been Your OC Sucks with our very wonderful special guest, LethalAuroraMage. We appreciate everything you've done for us in the last year, following us, submitting OCs, sending them in, and being able to use one of your OCs as a running gag nut job. So I hope that we can talk again sometime. I hope you keep watching. I hope everybody starts following you. But in the meantime, my name is Modified Thunderbirds. I've been joined by
Commander Sparkle,
Medi Bobo,
Smooth sailing.
our wonderful special guest,
Mage.
and remember, your OC sucks.